right, everybody. Welcome back to another Legacy video here on Magic Online. This is the Semiotician, and today we are finally going to play Doomsday again. It's been a little bit since I've played Doomsday, so I could be a little bit rusty. But I kind of wanted to come in uh, and just take a look at the metagame for the past 7 days here on Magic Online. MTG Goldfish mostly just accounts for Magic Online results. And what you notice is a lot of blue. There is a lot of blue. I feel like a couple months ago, like maybe just when the ban happened, and then before the ban, when you would look here, you would see, I don't know, decks like Oops All Spells closer to the top, Red Stompy closer to the top. Eldrazi is just completely non-existent anymore. We find ourselves in this kind of like mid-range blue soup wars of Legacies past, and these are some of my favorite formats to be a part of. I kind of love looking at this and seeing Dimir Tempo, Dimir Reanimator, Is It Delver, Beanstalk Control, Sneak and Show, Grixis Tempo. Like, this is all the kind of stuff that I want to be like playing against. And also in a way like playing with. I've been loving the Is It Delver deck recently. That's my favorite deck right now. I don't think it's better than the Dimir Tempo deck, but it's certainly a lot of fun to play. But what are we going to do here, given that the metagame looks so blue? Well, I think Bug is still probably where you want to be with Doomsday. And so I've got Doomsday for Blue Soup queued up here for us. We've got 16 lands, only one basic, notably. But we've got the Bayou and Trop to support our green splash for 4 copies of Veil of Summer and 2 copies of Carpet of Flowers in the sideboard. We've got 3 copies of Underground Sea and Undercity Sewers, fetch lands, Cavern of Souls to round things out. No Cabal Rituals in this version of the deck, but we do have 4 copies of Dark Ritual, 4 copies of Lotus Petal. The obvious inclusion of Lion's Eye Diamond for our piles is going to be here as well. I wanted this deck to be like as kind of straightforward as possible. The Veil of Summers come at the cost of a couple more dazes, but I kind of don't mind just, casting a Veil of Summer in this format. I've got 3 Cyclers, or 3 Street Wraiths instead of just 2. I would like to play 4 Street Wraiths in this deck somehow, but I'm not sure just off the top of my head what I would cut for that 4th one. So I think we're going to try 3, just kind of meet in the middle of the classic 2 and the more extreme 4. So hopefully having access to this extra Street Wraith will facilitate certain piles in maybe trickier spots where we need to, draw 2 cards after casting Doomsday, and we have an extra Cycler to help us kind of do that. Other than that, the list is fairly straightforward. I think Consign overall is kind of on a downturn in the format. The blue tempo decks now are playing maybe only 1 or 2 of them, and so I don't feel as inclined to need to play Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, especially since Kozilek's command is not as prevalent in the format either. So that's freed up an extra sideboard slot for us, which I think is nice too. Over here in the sideboard, we're keeping things pretty straightforward. I've got 3 copies of Force of Negation. This will be for opposing combo decks, where in that case we probably want the Duresses as well, and then potentially Leyline of the Voids, depending on if it's a graveyard variation of combo. But the Force of Negations also are excellent against Chalice of the Void style strategies. And so, yes, that allows us to go up to 7 Force of Wills, which I think is pretty cool. I would like to have 4 Fawns, but I also think I want to try Leyline of the Voids today, so I didn't know really what to cut. We've got the Leyline of the Voids, obviously, to help against Oops All Spells, Reanimator, other decks like that. We have Carpet of Flowers to mitigate mana denial in Blue Mirrors, which I expect to be facing. And then we've got Barrogoyfs, which I will only board in against Mono Red Prison and red variations of Delver. I think against any of the blue, and by red variations of Delver, I mean red variations of Tempo decks that are not the blue-black splash red for blast in the sideboard Tempo deck. I really don't think I want to be fighting those sorts of decks, the blue-black variations of Tempo on the Barrogoyf plan. I would much rather be fighting them on the axis of Duress plus 4 copies of Veil of Summer. Just get them dead. Through their Bowmasters and all of their shenanigans. In any case, it's been a while since I played Doomsday. I know there's, like when I started out, people were enjoying the Doomsday videos, and I thought it was high time to take up Doomsday again. So that's what we're going to do today. And also, I will say, like, I should have mentioned this at the very beginning, but I've got this new webcam set up now. I am not used to playing Magic with the webcams. I don't know if this is positioned in the right spot or whatever, but I hope that it adds something to the viewing experience and doesn't distract from it. I only have a single monitor set up, so I can't see exactly what things look like during the game. So when I get to editing afterwards, maybe I'll experiment with like the positioning of the camera and whatnot moving forward. But for today, this is kind of the Wild West, in the same way that it's the Wild West with me returning to Doomsday. So let's pop ourselves into a legacy league here, and let's see if I am indeed right that we find ourselves in blue soup and we just want to be main decking our Veil of Summers. We'll see how it goes. I also can't promise type Doomsday play here. It's honestly, I haven't played Doomsday in over a month, which is like the longest I've gone without playing Doomsday since I first played Doomsday, started playing Doomsday. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully there are muscles that can begin flexing and getting warmed up here as we proceed through this league. And oh my goodness, look at this. We're starting with one of my favorite things. The opening hand that only has Cavern of Souls and sucks otherwise. So let's mulligan that hand straight away. Oh man. Okay. I mean, this is certainly a keep. We're on the play here. I think I might bin Force of Will. We can just kill right here if we want, or we could Thoughtseize our opponent. So if we Thoughtseize our opponent and they have a Wasteland in their hand, this can go like really wrong for us. Or we're just supposed to jam. We're on the play here. It's game one. They don't know what deck we're on. They might not have a Force of Will. I mean, this is like, it's obviously safest to cast Thoughtseize, but if we just get Wastelanded, it's so bad. Do we just, I mean, we have it. I'm going to do it. Let's just put Doomsday on the stack and see what happens. Oh, well, it resolves. So how does this work now? We can draw into LED. I then LED cycle to like an Oracle. Then we could have like, oh, we're going to be edging our land away. I was going to say we could have like a second Oracle as well. But I think here we probably just do something to this effect. I mean, I guess I could even have drawn a... no, I couldn't have drawn a Petal here to check with Thoughtseize. So we want Oracle on the bottom. We can go... think like this. Let's cycle, cast Lion's Eye Diamonds, hold control, cycle, crack this for triple blue, play Consider. We obviously don't know what our opponent's up to here either, but yeah. Here's our Oracle, and that's the game. Sure. Oh, my old friend. Doomsday, my old friend. So, yeah. What's this player's name? I usually don't like doing this, but you know what? Let's not pollute our minds with senseless information, and let's just... we could just run it back here. We don't really know what our opponent... like. We don't really know what we're playing against. It's possible these Veil of Summers are like terrible, right? Like they didn't have the Force of Will, but maybe they just kept a hand that didn't have a force in it, and we just got him with the combo. Maybe we're supposed to play our Leyline of the Voids here. Maybe we're supposed to like hedge a little bit. We are on the draw, so we could cut like one Veil and put in a Force of Negation. Let's just do that. I really don't know. We need to find out what they're up to. But our deck rocks, right? Our deck rocks, right? Okay. This hand seems fine to me. I'll keep. We've got a Doomsday. We've got a way to crack into the pile. We've got the beautiful Lion's Eye Diamond for low on mana. I love LED. What a fun card. Look at that little lion. Damn. Okay, Once Upon a Tip Top of the Time to us. So this could be Naudio. It could be Cradle Controls. Basic Forest. Okay. Basic Forest and upkeep. Go to main phase. Play the Forest Pass. So Endurance is going to be a card we're going to have to worry about here. I think I'm just going to lead on an Underground Sea into a Ponder here. And we'll see. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. We like these cards. Grab the land. It's so funny that we could actually just cast Doomsday right here. But I don't think we want to do that necessarily. So we'll just pass the turn here. Let's see what our opponent wants to do on their second turn. And how are we going to beat this Endurance? Ooh, Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter is fascinating. So like next turn, I think we could beat Endurance. We give them one more turn. Is that like super risky? Just play Misty. So we go Dark Ritual Doomsday. And then we've got Double Cycler in hand. We have Gush. But I want blue card as one of the cards and then to be able to play the Oracle as well. Dark Ritual Doomsday. You know what? I think we can do it with a Thoughtseize here, right? Thoughtseize goes on the stack. Thoughtseize goes on the stack. They Endurance in response. Okay, they have the Disruptor Flute here. I think I'll cast Consider in response here. I would love to find a Daze, right? Well, Doomsday's not going to help. Edge of Autumn doesn't really help us either. All right, I'm not going to... I don't think Cycle Street Wraith. Maybe I was supposed to. Now I fear that things are not good. Ah. Yeah, I'm kind of dumb. I think I actually could have... No, I was going to say maybe there's a way to keep that Doomsday on top and then cycle into it with the LED to get the extra mana, but now... Yeah, okay. Now we're screwed. I also should have cycled an Edge of Autumn there. My apologies. Malevolent Rumble, Dark Depths. This is lands, huh? Very well. Pithing Needle. I don't know. I guess I'll cycle this Street Wraith in response. Let's see if they name Edge now. Polluted Delta. Okay. Yeah, they're just on the mana denial. The mana denial plan here, which makes a great deal of sense. I guess we can fire this Brainstorm, like fixing this hand seems advisable. What are the chances they Ghost Quarter me? What are the chances they Ghost Quarter me if I put this Doomsday 2 from the bottom? I'm going to try it. Do we want to spew our entire hand to put a Doomsday on the stack? No, because we have to spew everything. Okay. I think I honestly have to burn this pedal here for a shuffle too. I don't like it. Polluted Delta's named. So okay. Okay. How differently that would have been if I was worried about endurance, not disruptor flute. So what I wanted to do with that pile was Dark Ritual Doomsday, Street Wraith cycle into Thoughtseize, put Thoughtseize on the stack, having only Doomsday and Street Wraith in our graveyard. Then they endurance back and we cycle down. Or I'd take their endurance, but the fact that they had the disruptor flute. This card's very annoying to play against as Doomsday, I feel like. But this is the way that it goes, right? This is how it be going. Another Rumble. Urza Saga makes sense. I guess they can't play the Saga here, which is nice. We're drawing a fresh card. Force of Negation, my little friend. I guess we spew yet another Brainstorm here. And we can't even really Edge of Autumn for the island because we can't Edge of Autumn for the island because they have a Ghost Quarter. Undercity Sewers. Man, this is rough. We really need a Dark Ritual now. Oh, wow. Use Boseju's ability, yes. Get an Underground Sea, I suppose. Or like trying to run us completely dry here. That shuffled our deck, which was great for us. Honestly, if we draw Dark Ritual here, we might still be in shape. Another Boseju. Sure, yeah. Take this. Okay. Really need Dark Ritual here. I think I'm supposed to Street Wraith in the end step. Because if I hit like a Brainstorm or something, like it can't be Ponder into Dark Ritual, right? Come on. Personal Tutor's not going to do it. Dark Ritual, one time. Now they're Ghost Quartering in my upkeep. Again, I don't think I can cycle this edge because we just like have to draw the natural. We have to draw the natural Dark Ritual right here. That's not quite right. Cavern of Souls. Name Wizard. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doomsday costs 6. I could personal tutor a Doomsday on top of my deck. They have one card left in their hand. You know what? Let's go Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Personal tutor. Doomsday on top of deck. Hold control. Hold control. Cycle Edge of Autumn. Crack for triple black. Cast Doomsday. They've got one card in hand. We're going to go to 7. So we're going to need Thoracle. I mean, it's just got to be like a cycle down to Thoracle, right? Wraith. 7. I think I can Wraith to 1, right? And then I can afford to have like 1 Edge of Autumn in my pile because I know I need a land anyways to win anyways. Oracle on the bottom. Cycle up some Wraiths. All right, let's see if they can kill us or kill 3 of our lands. The fact that this can't go get something is great as well. The Pithing Needle's already in. We just got to hope they don't. So they have Wasteland. Sure. They need 3. They need Life from the Loam here. I think we might have just pulled this off somehow. Maybe I could have done that sooner as well. But yeah, let's go for an uncounterable wizard. Sacrifice our land. Cycle Street Wraith. Cycle Street Wraith. Cycle Street Wraith. Cast Thassa's Oracle is your last card Endurance. It actually is. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not playing around Endurance there. I'm not playing around Endurance there. I'm just jamming my spells. They definitely could have had Endurance, but like, you know, we were under so much pressure that like our mana was under so much pressure that I think we just had to cook there. I kind of actually liked how that turned out. Doomsday's fun, isn't it? A Doomsday is fun. Watch me like claim, right? Blue soup, and we're just going to play against 0 blue decks and just be boarding out our Veil of Summers every single game. We'll see. I'm here for whatever. Brovaltine. Okay. No more easy turn 1s, huh? We're on the draw. We've got a Doomsday. We've got a Force of Will. We've got some cantrips and 1 mana source that's super susceptible to Wasteland. What is this hand looking for? 3 black manas. 3 black manas is what it's like really looking for. This hand could go wrong in a plethora of ways. It does have the Force, though, which I don't mind. I think I might actually keep this, and maybe we can just settle into like a bit of a slower game, but I could be wrong about this. Turn 1 Nethergwape off of a Badlands. I'm not here to force that, but the clock that this represents could actually be frustrating. So this could be like either red-black Goyfs, which would be hilarious. It could also be tempo. We really want to find ourselves some mana sources here. This is nice. Do we want both of these lands here? The Undercity Sewers is kind of terrible. And I don't mind just like jamming a bunch of Pondies. So yeah, and like this is like a bad only land to have too, because it means that we need the Dark Ritual to really like set it off. So far, I'm just seeing red-black lands. If this is Rakdos Goyfs, I kind of just want to concede out of respect. I love me some Goyfs. And I have a webcam now. Look at this, actually. Speaking of Goyfs. I picked up my 4th Nether Goyf today because I would like to do some blue-black shenanigans. So this is ruled out of being blue-black. The blue-black splash red tempo deck only plays 1 Badlands. And so we're getting hit for 1 here. We'll take it to the face, as one does. Red, black, huh? So Duresses, Hymn to Turox, these are things that I'm kind of worried about. Honestly, Wasteland seems worrying too. Let's begin, I think, with the old Brainstorm. I know that there's Undercity Sewers among these cards, but I think that's fine. What have they got? What have they got that costs a black in response to my Brainstorm? Their own Dark Ritual. Oh, they're going to opposition agent us, and we're going to have to force it. What do we pitch? Probably just Consider. in this spot. So here comes Oppo. Yikes. Oh, Orcish Broheads. Do they have double Bowmasters? Making me look like the fool for not playing my Delta first. It's so funny. I wasn't even really. What am I doing? I'm not even really. Wasn't even thinking of Bowmasters here. We're like a little far behind now, so I kind of want to force this. If they've got second Bowmasters, like they're probably just playing around days here, I would imagine. I mean, do we just change phases and freaking go for it here? They can't Oppo us unless they have another Dark Ritual. That would be a disgusting bait. If they do have the Oppo, that's just like gross, right? Jesus Christ. All right, let's play a land and swap stages. Now they can't have a second Bowmaster. Let's do a opposition agent check. All right. I think we're we're in the clear here. The old Dark Ritual Doomsday. The old 1-2 punch. They could have Lightning Bolt. Okay, so 16. We fall to 8. Edge. Oracle. 8 puts us to 6. To 4. And then we can... Oh, I did pitch the Consider, which is hilarious. But if we don't want to die to Bolt... Does this not die to Bolt? I think this doesn't die to Bolt. We go to 8. And then we're taking 4 total damage off of our Street Wraiths. So this is fine. Everything is beautiful. Few things hurt. As Kurt Vonnegut once said. Do we ponder... But they have red... They're not main decking red Elementi Blasts, are they? I suppose we'll soon find out. Lion's Eye Diamond. Uh-oh, they probably think. Ruh-roh. Hold control. Cycle Street Wraith. Crack of the old chestnut for triple blue here. Bob is looking to be our uncle. Unless I fucked something up here. A boom. A boom. And we'll go to 4. Notably not dying to the Lightning Bolt. We'll cast the Ponder. And we're dead to a... do you want to use Ponder's ability? Yes, I'll shuffle my deck. All right, there's Thassa's Oracle. Do you have Red Blast? We died to the Red Blast either way here. So, yeah. Isn't Magic fun? Come on. There we go. There we go. All right, so mono black aggro with red. Heebie-jeebies. We don't have a way to remove an opposition agent, which is really problematic. Which means that we want all of our cantrips because we can beat Oppo by like turning our Doomsdays into demonic consultations. I did that last night, playing Commander with my friends. I suspect Fawns could be interesting. Like they might have things that we care about. We could just bring in the Borrow Goyfs because we know that our opponent's like fighting on that black axis. How's the Veil Summers against mono black? Probably pretty fine, right? They're on the play in this next game. I might cut one Veil. Like, you might think that's weird, right? But, you know, we can cut Cavern of Souls, I would imagine. Maybe for another Force of Negation. They're pretty, like, creature-oriented. I don't know that we want to dilute our deck though by putting in Barrogoyfs. They might leave removal in. And let me finish my thought about this Veil of Summer. Sorry, I'm really bad at finishing my thoughts sometimes. But Veil of Summer is like really good at stopping Thoughtseize, right? It's very good at beating a Bowmasters, but they will probably only have a certain number of discard spells in their deck, and they don't also have counter magic. And the Veil of Summer can often be found after Doomsday resolves in the face of a Bowmaster, right? Like off of a Brainstorm. So you can like, I don't know, you Doomsday into the Bowmaster, you play Brainstorm, you like draw 3 cards, all the Bowmaster triggers go on the stack, and if you have a green mana up, you can use the Veil to like fade the Bowmaster, to fizzle the Bowmaster counters, or redirect them, I guess, more correctly, like post Doomsday. So that's why I'm fine cutting a couple of those in the face of the black deck. 15 lands is a little light, but I don't know that I want to bring in the G's. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna just run it back like this. We'll see what happens. Opposition Agent, though, is a bit of a skipper. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you don't really like to see the old agent here. This is a turn 2 Doomsday with no forms of protection. I'll probably keep this hand. It's probably not the best hand to keep. We do have this Thoughtseize. If our opponent just goes turn 1 Dark Ritual Opposition Agent, though, like, I mean, look at this shit, right? Okay. I'm gonna pop a Thoughtseize on him here. Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck is happening? Excuse my French. I don't know what's happening. Okay, Dark Ritual, Burning Inquiry, Winds of Change. Each player shuffles the cards from their hand into their library, then draws that many cards. Each player shuffles the cards from their hand into their library, then draws that many cards. Heebie-jeebies. Each player draws 3 cards, then discards 3 cards at random. I think I take the Burning Inquiry here. So they're like bowmasting with... Okay, maybe I do want all 4 Veils, given like the kind of shenanigans that I'm seeing now. I should have probably played this Lotus Petal. That was in all likelihood a mistake. I was just like looking off to the side here, repositioning my revealed cards, and now we're potentially losing this petal. But yeah, that was a bit of goofball energy. The thing is, we got to pass the turn with our Doomsday. Did I leave them? I left them with Winds of Change. What's happening? Oh, yes. Yes. Croxa. Enters the battlefield or attacks. Each opponent discards a card, then each opponent who didn't takes 3. Okay. I think I'm fine just discarding Undercity Sues here. We'll get rid of that. Okay. Now, another Thoughtseize. So I could just put Doomsday onto the stack here. Like, what? Okay, I put Doomsday onto the stack. What happens if they, like, Winds of Change us? We shuffle 3 cards into our hand, then draw that many cards. I think I'm just going to Thoughtseize my opponent now. Pass yet again. I'll take the Winds of Change this time. Leave them with that ritual. We'll thin the deck in end step, I think, and then we'll fire our Doomsday, and like maybe we draw a Brainstorm or a Cycler, right, on our next turn, and then we can just win immediately. Watch this be the fucking opposition agent off the top. Not a shield dread. Oh, it's Croxa. Okay. Croxa. I guess I just discard Fawn at this point. Do I have to discard? Yeah, I do have to discard. Okay. Yikes. Croxa's in the pit. Croxa's actually just going to kill us. We actually can't cast Doomsday. Okay. Oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. Okay. So now we have to like take a Croxa hit. And then like hope to draw a Cycler, I guess. I'll just take out the Rainforest here. We need a way to crack into the pile. Oh my god. I think we are assuredly dead here. All right. Force of Negation doesn't seem that bad. Chains of Mephistopheles is very annoying. Do I need double Oracle? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, this one we can't keep. This one we're just looking for a Doomsday. This one I don't mind. This would be such a sweet 7, right? We'll keep... Do I put back Days? Do I put back Land? How greedy is it to put back Land? It's probably super greedy. Man alive. This would be such a nice 7. I could put back Force, but then they have things like Chains of Mephistopheles. I could put back Thoughtseize and just say I'm beating what they have with my counter spells. Maybe I like that. Maybe that's like wild, but I think that's what I'm going to do. They're on a mull to 6. So we did go to like Underground Sea, Ponder. We go Underground Sea, Ponder, find Doomsday, and figure it out from there. Underground Sea, Ponder. Did not find Doomsday. We did find a Cycler and another land. But I don't think those are quite what we're looking for here. We'll go in any order shuffle. That's all right. Draws 3 cards, then discards 3 cards from their hand at random. How much do we like this? I could just daze it. Or I could say that, like, sure. I think I'm going to daze it. I'm not 100% sure about this, though, because now we, like, really want to draw a blue card. Maybe I'm just supposed to let the Burning Inquiry go. I was not, like, prepared to play against this deck. Okay, well, that's pretty decent. Personal Tutor. Doomsday on top. Pass. They're passing. Okay. Dark Ritual fetch. Underground Sea. Doomsday. Do I just go for the kill right here? They could have Disruptor Flute, I guess. Is it better to pass with Force Up? Is it better to pass with Force Up or just try to kill right here? They've got something in their hand, right? So I kind of don't mind passing. with force up. What if they have like double burning inquiry though? Things could go so wrong, but they have to have something, right? Like what if we just went for a handful of cyclers? We would lose to a wasteland, but we haven't seen a wasteland yet. We could just do this. I'm going to pass the turn. I don't have to pass the turn, but I would hate to go empty here into a I would hate to go empty here into a disruptor flute or like a red elemental blast. Red elemental blast. Yeah. That one can get us for sure. I'm just not really in the mood to think much. You know? If they go for end of turn Bowmasters. Oh, Raucous Theater, thank the lords. Left the card on top. We just gotta hope that they've only got one spell. Each player draws 3 cards, then discards 3 cards at random. Oh, this is so risky, isn't it? Because if they just have 2 burning inquiries. But what if there are other cards like a Chains of Mephistopheles? If there are other cards of Chains, Bowmasters kills us here. Oh, this is so hard. I actually have no clue if I'm supposed to force this or not. 3 cards at random. We'd have to discard all 3 of the cards that we draw. I'll force. But we're dead now to Bowmasters. I think we're dead to Bowmasters now. Okay. They're F6. I guess I'm just a worrywart. Show me. They appear to be F6 here. Do they actually have the Pyroblast at the end of the day? Happy to lose here if they don't. Or if they do. All right, we got there. I guess I was tanking pretty long, but wow, okay. Playing Doomsday into blue soup and just seeing no soup. Oh, okay, yep. I mean, so far so good, I guess. Sometimes it's the simpler piles in life, right? There's a lot more complex things we could have done there. I could have just won on our turn. But I don't know. I kind of thought that one force was fine, but then when I realized they could just like chain burning inquiries to kill us, that's pretty bad for us. It's kind of a weird matchup. I've never played against a deck like that before with Doomsday, so kind of neat to realize that cards like Winds of Change and Burning Inquiry aren't necessarily things that you want to see when you're trying to pass with Force of Will in your hand. So you could have argued I was supposed to just kill my opponent and not pass the turn at all. Round number 3 here. Tutor, Ponder. Oh my goodness. I don't really like the way that this hand looks. I'm really not a fan of the way that this hand looks. I think I'm going to mull it. I think we can get something a little tastier. This one's certainly a seasoned to taste a little bit better. I think we put the Underground Sea back. Keep Cycler. They're leading on Hedge Maze. Okay, finally get some blue here. We're going to have to decide when we would like to cycle a Wraith. Hedge Maze, huh? Let's lead on a Ponder, I believe, to start things off. They kept it on top as well. Personal Tutor's not bad. Third Street Wraith, a little bit less desirable. I think. Well, maybe it wasn't actually less desirable. Ponder. Well, we can't just go willy nilly. We can't just go willy nilly into our opponent's face here as a blue deck, especially now that they've cast their Ponder. Urza Saga. So this is Nadu Breakfast, I believe. Nadu Breakfast. Personal tutor put Doomsday on top. Street Race cycle into Doomsday. Play land. Dark Ritual. Doomsday. Second Street Wraith into Brainstorm. We could just be dead next turn. Guess I'll Ponder. Days I don't mind picking up here. Just Ponder's ability, no. Play Polluted Delta. Fetch the Delta. Grab another Underground Sea. Go for Personal Tutor. Put Doomsday on top of our deck and then pass with Days in hand. Now they're just passing. So our Days isn't going to do anything. I'm going to cycle a Wraith here. Another Ritual. Okay, well, let's at least take some cards out of their hand. Maybe they'll have to pitch like a Nadu to their Force or something. I assume they have Force of Will here. Force of Will, pitch Ponder. Yeah, we'll pass. That was kind of to be expected, but this Urza Saga's ticking up, right? Like to 3, and we could just very easily just be dead there. In fact, you could argue that I'm supposed to cycle Street Wraith to try to find Thoughtseize to probe their hand. You could argue that was just stupid to put my Doomsday just directly into their Force of Will. Tameo's fine. Nadu. Oh, wow. They're actually allowing us to daze the Nadu here, which is wild. They didn't have to play Tameo first, but they did. Yep, loading up the Shuko. We really need to just draw the nuts Doomsday off the top right here. Doomsday to the manifestations. Never lucky. I think I have to cycle now, right? Force of Will. Replay Underground Sea, pass. I guess I could have played out the Thassa's Oracle there as a blocker. But now, I guess we keep playing a couple of turns longer. But things are starting to get a little more challenging for us. Rescinded the protection that time. Another Oracle. The first one's gone. So this needs to... I don't know what this needs to find. Neither of those things. We're just dead to this construct. I believe. The Meticulous Archive. Breakfast is a sweet list, isn't it? Nadu, pretty wild. Alrighty, that'll do it. That will do it. Against cephalid breakfast. I don't even know if I want carpeted flowers against breakfast. Hmm. Do I actually have to bring in these ley line of the voids against them too? God, that feels so bad. Feels so bad. We're on the play here. I think I can afford to cut a couple of P tutors. Can probably cut a street wraith as much as it pains me to say. Probably don't need all of the duresses against this opponent, but I don't mind grabbing a couple of them. This would mean that we still need to cut 2 more cards from our deck. We could cut, I guess, a single Lotus Petal. Slows our mana down a little bit, but we kind of take like a slightly more controlling posture. Maybe that's more what we want to be doing on the draw. Whereas being on the play here, we would rather find a way to punch our opponent. How crazy is it to cut the other Thassa? It's probably crazy. See, I'm not used to sideboarding with graveyard hate in the mix. So sometimes I just kind of fail to. You cut a land, but that also doesn't seem advisable. We could cut down to 3 cyclers. Maybe that's what we'll do, but I don't really like doing that. I think we've slowed ourselves down a little bit too much here. This is one of those dirtily hands. Guess I'll keep it. Most of the things we care about, though, are creatures. I'm sorry if you can hear this dog barking as well, by the way. There's a dog barking in the apartment next door. It's not my own. Poor guy. Let's hit him with a duress. Okay. I guess we take Fluster. Pass the turn. They don't got a lot going on over there. They do have the Nomads. Just slightly annoying. Let's hope they bin whatever this is. They bin a narc. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Okay, let's draw for turn and see if we can start. Fucking ley lines. Okay, this is a start. Not really getting Thoughtseize. I'm gonna draw the Doomsday. I'll play out this Misty. We'll pass. We'll probably draw the Veil of Summer. I'm guessing. Maybe we don't. I don't even think we do draw the Veil of Summer, actually. I think we go for Surveil Land. There's Nomads. I actually think that I'm just going to go for the Undercity Sewers here. So we'll pick that up, bring it in tapped. Rainstorm. How bad do we want to go for a black land here, I guess is the question, right? I mean, Brainstorm's obviously like so good. We're probably just supposed to keep the Brainstorm. Brainstorm. Wow, the black land was underneath. But now, I think we're feeling aight. We shall see. A Nadu changes things. They do have the Cavern of Souls in their hand, right? Attack for 2. There it is. The Nomads has been played. The Savannah has been played. The Island has not been played. 2 unknown cards in their hand. One of them's definitely a blue card. Draw Street Wraith. We're not even able to win right here. I'm going to play out the Cavern first. Put it on Wizard. Then I'm going to cast the Namesake. And I'm expecting we're going to have to fight here. Hopefully we can daze to start things off. Daze the Fawn. I hope... Okay, this just resolves. Cavern's already in play. We've got Force of Will. We're going to fall to 7. We're going to fall to 7. And then we're going to get hit for 2 going to 5. Street Wraith puts us to 3, and Force of Will puts us to 2. Okay. Replay land, duress you. Second land for consider, and then still 2 mana. I'm taking duress here to play around consign in case they still play it. We've got Force of Will to beat Bear combo if they've got it. And Endurance if they've got it. I can't afford the Thoughtseize here, which would get the Endurance as well. This is the pile I'm going to make. In any rate. So we've got Oracle on the bottom. Edge on top of Oracle. Street Wraith. Consider. Duress on top. Pass the turn. Brainstorm. Am I supposed to force this? I don't think so. Oh, but maybe I was. I don't think so, but maybe I was. Okay. Because now, like, conceivably, these 2 cards are gone, right? Another Brainstorm. I mean, I've let them spin this much, so I guess they spin again. They're looking for a Nomads now. Coming in. Duress you. So I just take their Brainstorm here. All right. Cycle Street Wraith. Cast Consider. Bin Street Wraith. Cycle Edge. Cast an Oracle. There we have it. Okay, match is tied. That was nice. I like that. It feels good to work out your old muscles, huh? Those old muscles worked out. I don't think we want to borrow Goyfs. There's a world where we might want to look into bringing back some cyclers into the deck. I think I'm gonna submit just as we had it, and we'll see what goes on here. We shall see what goes on here. Our opponent's hand wasn't the best hand when we thought seized them on turn 1, and they had 5 lands and 2 pieces of interaction. That strikes me as a mulligan, but Who knows? Man. This hand is just like our first game one hand, which was not good enough. This hand just like, I mean, it puts Doomsday on the stack, but it doesn't really have much going on. I think I'm going to mulligan this actually. Oh man. This doesn't strike me as much better. I think we're going to lose this match. But we'll see, I guess. Ponder. This would have been a nice hand to like have a ley line of the void in place of this Thassa's Oracle or something. Just something so we knew that like they have to go down the Nadu train. Their Ponder did not shuffle. That's a nice draw. Specifically that it's a black land. Petal Brainstorm's kind of hilarious. So we could put Doomsday on the stack next turn with Veil of Summer backup. But they could also just like combo us themselves. So I think we're going to take it one turn slower because we can't win the turn that we Doomsday anyways. Okay. This guarantees Shuko. So now we got 2 turns basically. I don't want this to pop. I want to win before that pops. I think that means I'm supposed to fire a Brainstorm here. Actually, that was a mistake. That right there was a mistake. Because I wanted the Brainstorm to crack into the pile. Right. Right. Shoot. Shoot. Salvage poor play. I guess we theoretically don't need the Oracle in our hand. Play this out. There's no way we're just jamming our Doomsday willy-nilly here. I recognize that we could die. We're going to take the Undercity Sewer here. Okay. We're going to take the Undercity Sewer in our opponent's end step. And hopefully we can find some kind of gas here. That one doesn't qualify, so we'll put that to the bin. Draw for turn. Another pedal's not the best. It's not the worst either. So we got to hope they bite on this Doomsday here. Flusterstorm. Let's go Veil of Summer. Force of Negation, pitch, Force of Will. Targeting Veil. Oh, we've got another Veil. I hope this works. Force of Will, pitch, Cephalid, Illusionist. Okay, so now... Fuck me, huh? All right, yeah, they had all the interaction. Quite a stack. The triple fluster. All right. Man, if those veils could have resolved, like there's a world where we draw a Brainstorm off one of the veils and then like can still just win there. I was really hoping. So now they're making Construct. They're tutoring Shuko. At least we drew the Illusionist out of their hand, so I was like right that we were dead. This name's Wizard, I'm sure. This is also a wizard, right? This old chestnut. Yeah, the Octopus Wizard. A 3-2. They got a Delver of Secrets. We might just lose to the Delver of Secrets. Ponder, excellent draw. Those are not excellent draws. I'm going to pump the pedal here. So if they play a blue spell, I'm going to Veil. I think. Please don't have a wizard. I guess we go for the Veil here. All right. That'll do it. We lost to Cephalid Breakfast. What a counter war there. I think we set up for a decent spot there. Let's go GG's to my opponent. We're just going to concede the game. Alrighty, we're going to finish this later. I'm going to go drink a cider with my friends and maybe have a burger. We are 2-1 with Doomsday, and I'll see you guys all shortly. All right, everybody, I'm back. I had a delicious cheeseburger. I had a few beers. Doomsday for blue soup. Uh, I don't know what to say. I don't have a lot of time to play Magic Online this week, but I love making these videos for everybody. And so I try to play at least one league a week, and everything that I play, I record these days. And so, my partner's gone for the rest of the evening, hanging out with some friends. I've got a bit of time. You best believe that I'm going to finish this goddamn league. And we're just going to take it as it comes. We're going to take it as it comes here, folks. My burger was called the Dark Matter. It had bacon. It had onion, like fried onion. And it had pickles. And it had some dark matter, like blueberry hot sauce. You know it ain't the fucking hot sauce? This hand is not the hot sauce. And so we're going to mulligan it. There are no mana sources for us here. Well, ain't this a chestnut? The old turn one win on the play, huh? Oh, this hand's fucking sick, isn't it? I think we put Bayou on the bottom. This is all what I'm saying. This is what the semi's saying. That this juncture at 826 with hot sauce on his tongue. Oh man. Okay. So what we get to do here is punch a turn one Dark Ritual Doomsday with Veil of Summer backup. And if they don't force, we just brainstorm and win. Jesus Christ. We are on the play and they have a Gemstone Cavern. Nice. I would give my opponent. I don't know, you probably can't see the chat box now because my face is in the way. But I'm telling my opponent nice. Okay, let's see if we can do it here. The old Gemstone Caverns. You love to see it. I mean, this is like the sickest mold of 6 I've ever seen in my life, I think. I love me a Gemstone Caverns. I mean, this seems a little sus, right? I'm like telling my opponent, nice Gemstone Caverns, and I'm just going to fucking Dark Ritual Doomsday them on turn 1. I mean, got to pay respect. We're Dark Ritual Doomsday in here. Doomsday's in. They're on a Gemstone Caverns. I'm just going to punch it. I'm too tired to think. They could have like a lightning bolt, I guess, so we can do 1 edge, 1 street wraith, consider Lionside Diamond, the old Skipperinos, the old 1-2 puncherinos here, the old Bob's your uncle. If Bob ain't my uncle, I don't care anymore. Oh man, we go Oracle on the bottom. We'll put the edge on top. And then, I mean, if this don't pan out, we die anyways, right? So that's not the order you should ideally stack it in, but c'est la vie. I hope they just fucking pyroblast this. Oh man. Okay. Veil of Summer, consider on top. Let's just remember how this all works. It's been a while since I've even it's been like a month since I've executed the simple pile. But folks, we've done this before. We've done this song and dance before. Blast me, blast me, blast me. To graveyard. The old Cyclerino. A boom, boom, boom. All right. All right, there we go. Who plays Gemstone Caverns in Legacy in 2025? I know that some mono red stompy decks. This is so funny, isn't it? Like I was talking about playing into blue soup, and we built our deck to be blue decks, and we've lost to the only blue deck we played against, and we're up a game against something that I expect not to be blue. I expect to require some force of negations, and then beyond that, like if they're on mono red prison, which I kind of feel like they are, we want these Barrow G's as well. My guess is that we don't want these Veil of Summers, just based off them playing Gemstone Caverns. Then we got to ask ourselves, like, do we want more than one Barrowgoyf? Usually, when you board in Barrowgoyfs, I mean, ancient, it could be an ancient tomb deck, but they could also have. Mm, what if we board like this? Is this ridiculous? Again, if this is red prison, like I want the other Barrowgoyfs, obviously. I'm just gonna submit like this with just two Barrow G's. I don't know. I'm bringing in the duress because I might care about red elemental blast, and I might also care about my life total. And I don't necessarily expect to care about a creature, so I want the duress over the Thoughtseize as a one of discard option in pile purposes. I could be like completely misguided on that thinking, but that's how I'm thinking at this moment. And so we will continue thinking that way. Well, this isn't good. This isn't as obvious. There's a Doomsday in the top three. This is a cantrip away from a turn two Doomsday with something else. So, in the words of the great Messiah Wonder Pro, I think I'm going to snap this off. But we shall see if it's a good idea or not. Opponents on the play. We've got a Chalice covered. We've got a Force covered. But we really need to hope to find the old DD. I'm going to keep these hands. I don't know. Maybe this is crazy, but I'm here for it. I'm not thinking too sensibly now. Just here for a good time at this point. We got to do some things earlier, and now it's just about getting things done. Let's see if they're chalicing us here. They got the Ancient Tomb. They're tapping the Tomb. We might have to go for the old Force Reno pitch consider. And that's in fact what we're doing. So yeah, we want the Barrowgoyfs here. We want a couple more Barrowgoyfs in the deck. I should have just brought all four in. I was a little lazy, I'm not going to lie. We'll force the Chalice just because our hand relies on one drops. There's the Darky Writ. Man, if we can find a Doomsday right here, we actually just get to put it on the stack. That'll be an any order shove. Doomsday, Doomsday. Yikes, friends. Now we're screwed now. We're so screwed. Oh no, this is not going to hold against like the Eldrazi. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Joke's on you, I guess. We can play Doomsday regardless. I kind of was thinking it was prison. All right, so what did they take? They took our DR, obviously. A Doomsday? No, that ain't good. They're playing Chalice, so I want to play out this Petal at this point now that they know that we have it. And then Eldrazi. I'm literally playing against all the Stompy decks. I can't even call the video what I wanted to call it, which was Doomsday into Blue Soup. That's so unfortunate. Just when you think you've got your finger on how things are, the metagame proves to be wildly diverse. We don't want either of those. But yeah, it kind of feels like we are good as dead, folks. I mean, like, we could have got paid off huge, right? If that Ponder did see the Doomsday. All right, hit me for 4. Doomsday puts us to 7. So we have to. We got to find the old DD soon here. This Chalice on 2, another Thoughty. Now we like just actually have to exactly draw Doomsday right now. I have faith. 12, Doomsday to 6, attack, put me to 2. Pass. chump, drop to 4, put me to 10, Doomsday to 5, take 8. I think I have to cycle here. That ain't gonna do it. All right, we're on to the next one, folks. I think we have a crying chance there if Doomsday's on top. Barrowglyphs against Eldrazi aren't that good, but sometimes they might be. Like, what does Eldrazi do these days? We're on the play here. Do we really want Barrow G's on the play? But we're not really cutting anything. Like, currently the cards in our sideboard do not contribute to our combo. But everything else kind of contributes to the combo that's in the deck. In fact, we want the Cavern in case they chalice on 2. Maybe I carry on with the double Barrowglyph. It's also possible these Barrowglyphs are just supposed to be Thoughtseizes. The problem is, like, 2 Barrowglyphs isn't as good as 4, right? We might want double Oracle. I guess I can cut a Trop. So we're not really playing green spells. And then I think I'm going to cut... Having the Duress isn't bad to me. I don't mind having access to the Duress. I'm just going to play 3 Barrowglyphs. Call me crazy. Oh, that ain't going to do it. We're going to go to 5 here. I kind of want to go to 5. Okay, so I ponder. I find Doomsday. I can put Doomsday on the stack and win. If they don't have Chalice or anything. Not exactly what I was hoping for. Cavern to bottom. Does it have to be Petal to bottom? Petal's so good here, though. Ponder to bottom? What if it's just Fawn to bottom? How crazy is Fawn to bottom? Just run it with no protection. How likely are they to turn 1 Thought Not sear us? Let's do this. Because I could ponder into a Dark Ritual here, too. They got the Gemmy. The Gemmy... Secluded Courtyard. Okay. Okay. We're looking for like a Dark Ritual or a second copy of Doomsday here, I think. That is none of the things. I think I'm going to play out the Petal here. Just in case they have Chalice on 1, Chalice on 0. And then we'll play a Doomsday on turn 2. Ideally. Then... I don't know. I was not expecting to play against half the decks that we played against in this league. Chalice I don't think we care about. That is what it is. Another Petal. Okay. Let's cast the Namesake. And then we need Underground Sea, Thassa's Oracle. What if they have another Chalice? Ancient Tomb Chalice would be so crippling. Are we supposed to play around that? So they got a Chalice, so all of our 1s are off. Do we play around Chalice on 2? It requires us to pass twice. They could also have Disruptor Flute. They could have Mindbreak Trap. They could have Causeless Command, but I think we're playing around Causeless Command by having this fetch land in our hand. They're not going to haste us. Like, we could go really bare bones with just Cyclers here. Or we could get a little more cute, but it would require us to pass the turn a couple of times. I think I just want to cycle here. How nuts is that? Sorry, everybody. I'm not quite thinking. I kind of want them... No, well, they know that we don't have a force, so... Let's just play out this Petal. We'll pass. This might disincentivize them from going on a Wasteland route here. I'm F6. Show me what you got, opponent. Thought Seer is not going to do it. That does not represent Chalice on 2. I think we beat Kozilek's Command here. They also don't have the Wasteland. We don't beat Disruptor Flute. But, c'est la vie, right? Go like this. Cast this for a blue and a blue with Underground Sea in deck. And let's see if we played around the Kozilek's Command that I suspect them to have. If they make us draw, we're fine because we have a card in our deck. If they don't make us draw, we can fetch off the Oracle. Like if they go to kill the Oracle instead, we fetch in response. And I think we've got this at this point. Let's see. I love Magic. Oh, the stress is killing me. I'm so anxious. If they choose kill and draw, we just let it die and draw the land, and then we still win with the trigger. If they choose kill and do something else, I guess they need 2 Kozilek's commands here. But we were never beating that anyways, given our resources, right? Oh man, so our opponent's losing because their Gemstone Caverns can't make colorless mana with a luck counter on it. I've never seen this come up before, but that is how the cards work. I think that they need to have 2 commands to beat me here, though, right? Like they need to go like command. Does 2 commands even beat me? Yeah, command make me draw a card, and then command again off of the 2 colorless constructs to make me draw a card again. So we would need double fetch land to beat double command, I think. But as it stands, the Oracle just gets us there. I mean, okay. All right, well, we are 3-1. We narrowly got there. Let's see if we can get the 4-1 with the Doomsday now. I'm getting my juices flowing. Well, it's good to know you can build Doomsday to beat blue soup, beat all non-blue decks, and still lose to blue decks. We're learning, folks. We're learning. I'm having a blast, man. I haven't played Doomsday in a while. Fucking Doomsday is sick. What if, wow. Ooh. Okay. We're on the play. Never lucky. The double veil hand with 2 cantrips and 3 lands. We're on the play. We get to ponder. And we're playing against a blue deck. I don't mind this hand. If we get Chalice, we're fucked. We got a Brainstorm. I'm going to keep. Brainstorm fixes things. Okay. Let's just lead on the Yussi. I could have also just played Fetch Pass with Veil up in case they thought seize us, because if they take our Brainstorm, we're like in a really bad spot. This ain't too shabby. We take a Force to hand, which is excellent. And then we've got access to a Ponder anyways if we have to force. Ideally, I'm casting Brainstorm next turn, though. Nah. Mox Diamond. Sure. Part of me wanted to force that, but Grafdigger's Cage, sure. What is happening? We're playing against lands twice in the same league. Blue soup, huh? A blue soup. Now, like, this doesn't signify to me. Would lands play Grafdigger's Cage? Creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. We're on turn 2. There's a Petal in the mix as well. I'm going to fire a BS here. I don't think Veil's going to be of use. Though forgive me if I'm wrong about that. I'm going to keep firing the old Pondies. Those ones aren't really what we're looking for. Oh my god. This is why keeping cantrip heavy hands like that often, like, you got to just be willing when you keep them to understand that they might not pan out. Like, maybe Doomsday's not in your top 6 cards, right? If it is, the hands often like are quite nice. But if it isn't, you get into a spot like this where now we're at the mercy. Doomsday. And you just got to start shouting Doomsday. So now we're going to start getting beaten down by Urza's Sagas. But I think this is lands. And we've got a lot of loady pads here. Our opponent's going to fire off their thing. I think I got to go for the Surveilly right here. Otherwise, they're just going to... They're going to go for the old pithing needle. Let's get that Misty out of here. And we're so dead to these constructs, though. We don't even have a way to crack into the pile. We've got mana for days, but no way to crack into the old pile here. Attack for 5. Doomsday's not good enough here. We need Brainstorm into Doomsday plus Cycler. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a thing you can do. So this is lands. Doomsday. I mean, yeah, we got to just go for it here. That ain't going to do it. All right. That sucks. Sometimes you just fizzle out. Sometimes your opponent does nothing and you fizzle out. Lands. Against lands, we want Force of Negations. I don't think I want Ley Lines. Veil of Summers can get out of the deck. So we could play like one Ley Line of the Void here. Or we could play a Barrogoyf. What do we think's better? A one Barrogoyf? Well, we got Cavern of Souls. We could play 2 Ley Lines or 2 Barrogoyfs. 2 Ley Lines or 2 Goyfs. I kind of want to be like on the play, killing my opponent rather quickly. And so I think on the play, I might even just bring in these Duresses. Maybe that's crazy, but maybe I can like Duress a Disruptor Flute or something. Fuck the Barrogoyfs. Oh, Christ. The good old lands. I just want turn 1 wins. Like these sorts of hands against lands, you just get buried. Mulligan. This one's not as bad. This one's not as bad. We'll keep this one. Put Brainstorm on the bottom. I mean, Wasteland. Super annoying. What if we just get Wastelanded? We're so bad. Ugh. Am I supposed to get Basic Island here? It doesn't help with the Dark Ritual, because if I get Basic Island, it means we got to find Doomsday plus land in the top 3. But then we've also got, oh, we got this to cycle. I'm going to get the UC. Lands doesn't play Wasteland. Jesus Christ. Any order shuffle. Okay. Yeah, this could be bad. Maybe I'm supposed to just get Island, but like, right, you got to see the downside of getting Island, right? We just like, you just like pitter around a little bit. Here they've just got Saga. Mox Diamond. I was debating on countering this, but I've countered something like this in the past before And then, like, instead of having this, they end up with like a disruptor flute or like a dampening sphere or a sphere of resistance. Then you just feel like a freaking fool, little clown for countering the Mox Diamond. So I decided to let it resolve here, even though I do recognize that it's going to threaten, like, the sagas are going to be coming down pretty quick here. We just got to fade some wasties. It's so greedy to brainstorm here. We just got to fade Wasteland one more time. If they had Wasteland last turn, they would have Wastelanded us. If they crop rot, I'll force. Let's put Doomsday on top of our deck and pass. We've got the win lined up. Although they probably have something like Endurance. This isn't good. They didn't have Wasteland last turn, but they found it this turn. I think we're going to lose now. I'm totally fine with that. Oh, before you pitch your Oracle, just always, double check. Don't see any Oracles in that old sideboard. We can't win through this Sphere of Resistance, so we got to force that. And now we need, like, land. Non-tropical island land. Never lucky. Now we're not looking the best for this game. We tried. We knew. See, the thing is, if I get the island there, I still can't cast this Dark Ritual anyways. I'm fine being like lands deck you don't have Wasteland. Right? Like, you can't have it all the time. I don't know. Tell me I'm crazy. We got 3 wins already. We can get our treasure chest and our play points back and move on with our lives. Okay, so this is going to get them something. They can't get constructs, though, so that's good for us. And if they don't have, like, a Life from the Loam. If they have Life from the Loam, we're in, like, a pretty rough spot. If they don't have Life from the Loam, there's not pressure. The game could go on for a little bit. They got this Sylvan Library. Too bad I didn't board in the Barrowgoyfs at this point, but we got the juice. Like, this is juice, right? This is juice against everything but a Wasteland. I would have liked to see a land. I'm not going to lie. I would have loved to see a land. The old Expedition map for Wasteland line. Not too shabby. Urza Saga. The old saga for Saga line. They just keep coming. Sure. Craftdigger's Cage we do not care about. Land? I love it. All right, we're going to need another land. Land? Lion's Eye Diamond's not going to... And Lion's Eye Diamond's not going to cut it. Let's put that one to the bottom. All right, well, this is getting wastelanded, and then we need to find another land. I got to be more specific when I manifest things. You got to be very specific in your manifestations. We can find so much with this. If they don't wasteland me, then I want to draw Cycler, obviously. If they don't wasteland me, I want to draw Cycler or Lotus Petal. Choke. I love it. I mean, we have to counter it, right? We don't beat chokes. Let's hit him with the old 1-2 force. They played the Ancient Tomb. They're missing out on a construct. That's really good for us that they're missing out on a construct. They probably played Boots. Well, let's go Dark Ritual Doomsday here. With no cards in hand, though, this is going to be Island, Underground Sea, Thassa's Oracle. What if they Pithing Needle on Misty Rainforest? I have to pass twice here. That's the thing. No, I don't. This is really tough, I think. So what I'm thinking is like, if I select this Edge of Autumn, then they're gonna get Pithing Needle named Edge. If I don't select the Edge of Autumn, they'll probably get Pithing Needle named Street Wraith. So I think the Edge is the safest bet as our cycler. But then there's like another world where I might go like this. Not sure if this is right. But I have to take a Street Wraith. And I might not even draw the Ponder. Oh, this was stupid. I forgot that they're like that I have to fetch. I think I forgot that I had to fetch. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little buzzed. I'm a little buzzed. Because they're gonna get Urza's Saga, can get Pithing Needle, which could name Misty if I don't just fetch here. So I think I got to fetch in response to this. Anyways, this is dangerous as hell. They're gonna make a bro here. Crop rotation. Okay, let's see what they rot for. They didn't make a dude. Oh no. Okay. Does this mean they're getting... How many expedition maps does Lands play? I have no clue. Are they going to Pithing Needle? I have to fetch here. I think I have to fetch. My opponent's probably like, what's happening? There's the spur boots. Oh, nice. This, yeah, that's game. They got the old Merit Lage. Look at that. All right, well, there's nothing we could have done about the Merit Lage there. I don't like that pile. I don't know what the ideal pile is, but it's certainly not what I did. And I'm not going back to look at it at this point. But yeah, that was pretty sweet. So what happened in this league? In this league, I looked like we started by looking at the legacy metagame, right? And we said we like reduced from 30 days to 7 days just to see where things are at more recently on Magic Online. And we saw blue, not blue, not really blue, sometimes blue, not blue, blue. So on like the front page of Goldfish, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decks that aren't blue. And that led us to say, what if we register a Doomsday deck that has 4 Veil of Summers in the main deck? And then we proceeded to do that. And we played against a league, 5 opponents on Magic Online, where only one of them was a blue deck, and we lost to the blue deck. Mind you, it was Cephalid Breakfast. That matchup's sometimes hard, right? We're both combo decks. Sometimes you get the combo. I remember that, like, things didn't go, like, we didn't keep, like, maybe the best hands. You really got to be keeping hands that have, like, a route to a Doomsday. Like, I think, like, you can't just be, like, screwing around with your Ponders and Brainstorms. Those games, like, they work out sometimes, and when they work out, they're fine. But more often than not, you're failing in that respect. I think that's just my opinion. I'm not like the gospel on these matters at all, right? Like, I haven't played Doomsday in a month. Like, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but like, that's just my feeling. So we beat lands, we beat Eldrazi, and we beat Black, Red, Burning Inquiry, and we lost to lands, and we lost to Cephalid Breakfast. The Cephalid Breakfast match, the third game at least, they had triple interaction. We had 2 pieces of protection. I think, like, with Doomsday, anytime you lose, like, if you have 2 ways to defend your Doomsday and you still lose, that's kind of like Bob's your opponent's uncle, not your own uncle, and you just got to be fine with that. So I'm fine with it. And then the lands, we kept the Dirtily Cantrip hand in game 2, and it just, like, didn't work out for us. Or round 1, and then round 2, We got wastelanded at the exact time we didn't want to get wastelanded. I think that game's much different if we don't get wastelanded on that second turn, but we also fetched and played the game in such a way where we were willing to lose to a wasteland. And I was fine with that. And it had to be a natural wasteland too, right? It couldn't have been a wasteland from a crop rotation because we have the force of will in hand at the time. Has to be a natural wasteland, and they got the natural wasteland. They had extra selection with their library, and Bob's their uncle. That's totally fine. Lands is still a good matchup in the long run. I'd be happy to pair against lands, and it's good that we beat lands once, because sometimes, right, like, there's two ways to build Doomsday. The one way is like you build a blue focused Doomsday, right? So like a Doomsday deck that tries to beat the blue decks of the format. This would be the kind of Doomsday deck where you have 4 Veil of Summers in your main deck or 4 Vexing Baubles in your main deck. But then there's like the Doomsday deck that beats the Chalice or the Void decks, right? And that one has these Veils in the sideboard to try to catch the blue decks off guard. You put more Street Wraiths, probably some Cabal Rituals in place of these Veil of Summers. You can go whichever way you want, depending on what your metagame's looking like. I think this is the right metagame to be playing Bug. We didn't really get to look at Veil of Summer much in this league at all, which is a shame. So I guess I'm gonna have to play another league. Though I don't want to play Doomsday again right now. I think if I play another league now, I'm just gonna kind of goof around a bit and do like an After Dark edition of a video. But yeah, I think that overall, I think Doomsday is like not in a bad spot in the format. Even if you geared your Doomsday deck toward beating the blue decks, I think you're still in a great spot. And we've shown today that you can still beat a good handful of the non-blue decks when you build your Doomsday deck to beat the blue decks. So that's like good to know too. Barrowgoyf, don't know if it's necessary. Don't really know what I would play instead of it. I would like 4 Force of Negations and 4 Leyline of the Voids, I suppose. But Barrowgoyf's like, I think, essential against specifically Mono Red Prison, specifically Blue-Red Delver. So there's a bunch of Izzet Cutter. Like, I've been playing Izzet Cutter for a bunch of weeks at my locals. 4 weeks now, I played Izzet Cutter at my locals instead of Doomsday. And one thing that I've noticed with the Izzet Cutter deck is this card right here. The old Barrowgoyf is very difficult for it to beat. So here's what I would say to you. If your local metagame doesn't have any Izzet Cutter or any Mono Red Prison, I would not waste 4 sideboard slots on Barrowgoyf, because I don't think I want Barrowgoyf in any matchup really but Mono Red Prison and Blue Red Delver, or like Canadian Druid, whatever you want to call it. Temur Delver. I'm not convinced Barrowgoyf's good enough against the blue-black tempo decks, because like a Kaito can just come down and tap it out, and then you're just like fucked, right? Against blue-black tempo, this is the name of the game. Veil of Summer. I think Veil of Summer is excellent against blue-black tempo, and that's the kind of card that I want to be playing against them. I want to like Veil Your Thoughtseize, or set up like a turn where I can like Doomsday with under a Veil, and then set up just like the Brainstorm Consider line. You got to remember, right? Like, these decks aren't playing, some of them aren't even playing any consigns anymore in their sideboard, which means that if you can Veil, Bowmaster doesn't matter, Counter Magic doesn't matter, right? And all of a sudden, like, under a Veil, a good old Brainstorm, Bob's Your Uncle, Consider pile, like, that's enough to get the job done under a Veil of Summer. Oftentimes against blue, you're like too scared to do it if you don't have the Veil of Summer, if you haven't checked with a Thoughtseize. So I think if you want to be blue-black X tempo decks, Veil of Summer is the name of the game. If you've got Stifle Knot in your meta, if you've got a bunch of Eldrazi in your meta, or Kozilek's commands like Mystic Forge in your meta, play 1 Jace in your sideboard. You really got to kind of adapt, but it's like knowing kind of like what the tools are for what matchups, right? Duress, Force of Negation for combo, Consign Hate, Force of Negation for permanent based hate. It's like permanent, it's like anti-permanent based hate, in the sense that it counters permanents that hate on you. If you want graveyard hate, right? If there's some Oops All spells, blue-black Reanimator, decks like that, bring your Leyline of the Voids. Bring your Barrowgoyfs if there's like red decks and Lightning Bolts to worry about. So on and so forth. That's kind of like where I'm at with Doomsday anyways. I'm just a dude who plays like a couple leagues of Magic a week. And I think I'm all right at playing the game, but I'm by no means a master. And I just kind of do the things that I like to do, and this is what I like to do. This is my approach. But like, I mean, if your experiences have showing to you that other things are better, then by all means, follow your heart with Doomsday. That's all I can say. If you don't want to play green, just play blue-black. There's been a bunch of people doing very well with blue-black. I think green's excellent right now, but there's other metagames where it's not worth it to play green. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I hope you enjoyed another foray into Doomsday. I'm sorry that I feel like we on paper at least should have been able to beat the Lands player in the last round. But you know, this is just the way the cookies crumbles, right? You can have a very good matchup against a deck, and sometimes like the hands you draw just aren't very good, and that's just something that happens with Doomsday. Sometimes you just get really clunky, awkward hands that are very difficult to convert into a win. And so Doomsday, like, you really need the luck skill victory. With the L is very important there as well, right? You need to just open good hands. You need to know how to evaluate if a hand is good or not in a matchup or in the dark, and so on and so forth. And you need to be willing to jam on turn one if in the dark if you have it. In any case, I'm the Semiotician. I hope that the webcam wasn't too distracting. I hope it's cool. Let me know in the comments if you like absolutely despise the webcam. At this point, I've spent like $80 on it or whatever it was, and so I'm going to bloody use it. But it should at least be helpful for like other like tournament recap videos and things like that. And I would like to record a kind of video about my Magic history, or like my story kind of playing Magic and my experience with the game. So I'm going to do that soon as well, and that's another reason why I picked up this webcam. But in any case, if you've been enjoying the content, if you're especially happy about the return to Doomsday, feel free to drop a subscription to the channel. You know, it's kind of cool to see it growing, and maybe at one point we can get to a point where we have a nice legacy community here. And you know, if you want to just come hang out, watch me goof around in the legacy leagues here on Magic Online, I'm very happy to have you coming along with me. To all my friends out there in the world, wherever you are, I wish you the absolute best, and I'll see you for some more legacy action very, very soon. Cheers.